It's September 6th, 2009, and I'm flying out to Las Vegas, Nevada to spend 3 days with one of the most enigmatic, charismatic, thoughtful, powerful, and interesting bodybuilders on the scene today, Kai Greene. I arrive in Vegas 3 weeks before the most prestigious contest in bodybuilding. The athlete I am traveling thousands of miles to meet is preparing for his first ever Mr. Olympia competition. All eyes will be upon Kai as he takes the stage against the most formidable physique competitors in the world. This is the contest that launched the career of Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is the contest dominated by Ronnie Coleman 8 years running, and currently the trophy being fought over by Dexter Jackson and Jay Cutler. The man that wins this show can without a doubt call himself the best bodybuilder in the world. To take home the Sandow his first time at the Olympia will take an extraordinary effort from Kai. One doesn't just stride into the ring and defeat the champ by being as good as the champ. In order to be the new champion, the challenger has to be better, far better, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, knock out the champ in order to win a decisive victory. I will spend 3 days in this mecca of decadence, experiencing bodybuilding at its highest level and exploring the mindset of one of its brightest stars. For Kai Greene, life has never been easy. Growing up on the cold streets of Brooklyn, New York, in and out of institutions and foster homes, Kai Greene has had to overcome many obstacles to get to where he is today. To prepare himself for his first Olympia, Kai Greene will test his body, his mind, and his spirit. During his 7 weeks in the blistering desert heat of Las Vegas, Kai will confront his most difficult adversary and find his greatest strength. Kai Greene Overkill is made possible by Muscle-Med's bodybuilding supplements: methyl aromatase, Hexagen, Enoxide, Carnivore liquid protein shots, Methylburn Extreme, and Code Red. Learn more about the science of the supplements that helped Kai Greene win the Arnold Classic by visiting the Muscle-Med's website today. Go to www.musclemedsrx.com. I am an outsider to the world of bodybuilding. I began my video career in this sport when I taped my brother Dave Pulcinella as he prepared for the bodybuilding show, and from that footage created my first DVD. Since then, I have covered bodybuilding as a professional filmmaker and have created several full-length documentaries. With each video I make about bodybuilding, I learn more about this extreme, sometimes crazy world. It's a fascinating subculture with many dramatic stories to tell. When the bodybuilding supplement company Muscle-Meds offered me the chance to create a DVD about one of the top contenders to the 2009 Mr. Olympia crown, I said, "When do we start?" Who is Kai Greene? To answer that question, I traveled to Kai's hometown of Brooklyn, New York, to find out how a champion is created. Is he born or made? For most men, greatness is a quality that is earned with hard work, study, and perseverance. For bodybuilding powerhouse Kai Greene, being a champion requires all these things, but it begins with a state of mind. I arranged to meet Kai here at Fifth Avenue Gym to get to know him and his trainer, Oscar Arden, and begin to get some insight into their methods and philosophy during their last workout before they leave for 7 weeks of intense training in Las Vegas. Fifth Avenue Gym is an underground, hardcore, no-frills, old-school establishment. Kai greets me warmly, and I'm pleasantly surprised when he tells me that he's seen my work. We talk for a few moments, and I'm not surprised to find that he is deeply philosophical about his current challenge.
This whole game is about being being a champion of mind, being in control of your own thoughts. Mind is everything. The most powerful thing on this universe, in the omniverse, is the power of thought. I think if you look at creational theory, they'll say, you know, the creator spake it and it was. Let there be light and it happened, you know. I think that's what we do.
When Oscar arrives, it's time to get down to business. Tonight is a shoulder workout, delts, as the bodybuilders say. As I shoot, I am immediately impressed by two things: Kai's amazing strength and his intensity. The third thing I noticed is the relationship between Oscar and Kai. Oscar doesn't just tell Kai what to do, he goes through the workout with him. There is also an unmistakable fatherly or brotherly attitude that Oscar has towards Kai. It is a training relationship unlike any I've ever witnessed.
I didn't know much about him in the beginning, just somebody that shared the same interests that I shared, you know, and we became friends. As we became friends, I know that he had a lot of potential, but I guess he lacked a lot of the guidance. You know, he would kind of rough around the edges when it came to nutrition and training and certain aspects of life, you know.
I remember Kai when he was just a little one, when he was competing at the, 94 Delaware show? Because I was there and I remember seeing him, and he was kind of stringy but had nice muscles, and I've watched him throughout the years just slowly growing, and then all of a sudden growing into one of the best pros in the world. I always knew he had that potential. I thought so, even back then.
Kai Greene. I saw Kai Greene a long time ago. He was competing probably as a middleweight, somewhere in the neighborhood of 176 pounds. And he's small, but he is just put together. Every body part was there. He had sweep on his quads and little waist and a big back. And he posed way different than anybody else.
Over the years, Kai has built on his promising framework, adding many pounds of muscle, turning pro in 2004, and winning several major titles, including, most famously, the 2009 Arnold Classic. Despite all of his success, it is clear that he is not taking the Olympia lightly and is grateful for Oscar's presence.
Man, honestly, you just got so much riding on this part of it. You know, I depend a great deal on Oscar, because honestly, this is new territory even for me.
You know, he's more really like a brother, like a younger brother, you know, and I care and I love him very much. You know, my mother considers him like a son, you know, my children love him, my wife, just, you know, just amazing. Just whether it was bodybuilding or not bodybuilding, you know, we have the same relationship. It just happened that bodybuilding connected us.
Everybody on a team has an assignment. A successful team, I think, is successful because the people that they have delegated to carry out specific tasks, they're doing it and not falling short.
I do need for him to take this to the ultimate level and totally devote himself 100% physically, mentally, and spiritually to the task at hand without, you know, involving, you know, any other things, any other elements that come into that it can easily come and interrupt. So it's about being totally focused, you know, and dedicated, and not allow anything to come in and take any energy away. And that's how it's gonna be, you know.
The workout goes on and on. It is a brutal attack on Kai's shoulders from every possible angle. Each time I think they are done, they begin loading the bar again for yet another exercise. This is one of the longest, most intense workouts I've ever witnessed. And it's only a shoulder routine. I find myself wondering, how does he keep going? Where does the energy come from? The answer I get is surprising. In the midst of all this positivity, there is a dark side to Kai's philosophy as well. I find out about it when I ask him about Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman to me is definitely someone that, you know, worthy of a tremendous amount of respect. I think the real Ronnie Coleman, though, probably will definitely never be privileged enough to know. You know, where does a man have to go in order to put 800 pounds on his back and say, I'm gonna squat down to the floor and stand up as many times as I can before, you know, I pass out or, you know, blow something out, or, you know, just the rage that would have to be there, inside, that, you know, to begin to open up and talk about, you know.
It comes from rage?
You know, this dude put 800 pounds on his back, you know, he squatted down to the floor as many times as he could before he threw up. You tell me, where does this guy have to go? I said, there's violence in there, there's rage in there. You say, well, you ask me, is it violent? Is there rage? I'm saying I believe there has to be. Because I just don't, until you try to put 805 pounds on your back and squat down to the floor, then you realize, yo, I really have, there's something else that has to be motivating me to do that, because there's no way I can do that and say I'm a nice guy. I might be a nasty motherfucker behind the scenes, and I might be ready to really be able to call on that when I need to, and that's what makes me proficient at my job. Should it be being a linebacker? Should it be being a man outside on the line fighting for the country? Or, should it make me a good cop? Or would it make me, a good athlete right now? I think there's a psychological profile that I think, if you really explore it, it probably would alarm people to think about, who this guy must really be. Because you cannot be just a very simple person to explain, a simple person to understand, with that kind of ability.
This is the final workout before both of them fly to Las Vegas to train in seclusion for the 7 weeks preceding the Olympia. It seems like an excessively long time to me, but Oscar has his reasons.
Like soldiers go away to Iraq, after their families have to go, that's the type of, what they have to do to perform. You can't be worried about your wife, your girlfriend, you can't be worried about your bills. You have to focus, on the enemy and attack and destroy, and this is the goal that we have, and this is what we have to do. It's like a camp. It's more like a Bacchus training camp. You get up, you have a meal, your cardio, your training. It becomes away from distractions, away from drama, away from stress, and just focusing on the task at hand.
Mr. Olympia is the place where the biggest, the baddest, and the best IFBB professional bodybuilding champion of the world sits on his throne. When you aspire to become that, to prove that your best efforts can be met with the honor such as that title, it's a giant step. It's a giant step.
Kai and Oscar have been training in Vegas for nearly 4 weeks when I meet them for a second time. The lush growth of the Midwestern summer rolling beneath me slowly gives way to scrub brush and miles of arid western desert. The cab ride to the hotel that Kai and Oscar are staying in quickly passes by the familiar sights of the Strip and enters a somewhat barren and desolate industrial park. The hotel, though clean and modern, is a far cry from the luxury hotels, which can be seen off in the distance. There is no restaurant, no casino. Before heading with them to the gym for our first video session, I meet with the Mr. Olympia contender and his trainer in their room. Rather than interrupt them with an invasive interview, I decide to hang back, observe, and get into the rhythm of their lives. I am immediately struck by the somber atmosphere.
What causes God to get up off the throne, so to speak, and come to where we are is when we start giving him praise, when we go around in faith, expecting his favor. And know this.
Oscar made a meal for us. While we eat, not a word is spoken by anyone. Instead, we listen to an internet preacher and watch a motivational video.
Comes the moment that you decide. Decision changes everything.
Oscar had done his homework and had brought with him a library of positive reinforcement. These CDs and DVDs would form the soundtrack of my entire time here with them.
That's trying to keep you down. With a small adjustment in your attitude, it'll be the very cloud God uses to shower his blessings and favor. When we feel this heaviness, especially when that discouragement's trying to follow us around.
All the forms that man fashions with his hands must first exist in his thought. He cannot shape a thing until he has thought that thing. When we realize this, we lose all doubt and fear, for we know that we can create what we want to create, and we can get what we want to have, and can become what we want to be.
Watching Kai, it seems like he's in a constant state of meditation. In one of the most decadent places in the world, Kai Greene is living a life of self-denial. Amidst the indulgences of the flesh, Kai and Oscar have carved out an oasis of discipline. On our way to Gold's Gym, we drive by the Strip. We are like a bubble of purity, passing through a corrupt artery.
Over again. Fix every word upon your memory and meditate upon them until you firmly believe.
Collect your thoughts, clear your mind. Yeah. Let's go, lightweight. Still a warm-up. Let's go. On 3. My count. 1, 2, 3. Up. Let's go.
As we get into the workout, I can see that Kai is still training intensely at this point.
3, 4, 5.
And Oscar is still working along with him, matching him set for set, if not weight for weight.
Good. 4. Good power. Let's go. Good shit. Remember what I said in the locker room. Never forget that. Collect your thoughts, clear your mind. I mean 100%. And do your lift off. I count on 3. 1, 2, 3.